Hello, listeners. We are off topic, and I'm here today with Liam and Cosmo, and I'm Cameron, by the way, if you
It's
haven't known
Ren.
already. If you haven't watched our previous podcasts, go listen to them. They're funny as shit. But today, we're talking about insects, arachnids, and all that stuff, including, if it comes to it, shows and games that have stuff based on them, because I like that stuff.
Who's Liam?
So,
I know. I tried to correct
Ren.
you. Yeah,
God.
you completely went over the top
Fuck.
of it. Yeah. So for those of you listeners who do not know, the only reason I would be keeping this a secret would be because of my grandparents, but I told them. I have recently come out as trans. So I'm going by the name Ren now, which you'll see in the cover for the episode anyway. Yeah.
Oh.
Nothing huge. I mean, it is huge, but like, I don't know. Yeah, I did try to correct you, Cameron. I whispered into my mic, and apparently you did not hear me.
Your mic didn't pick it up.
I heard it.
Then I'm a dumbass. Don't worry, I sprayed myself via water bottle. And
The only
not in
valid
my
explanation.
My headphones flew off into my lap. So anyways, yeah, insects, bugs, and arachnids and shit. Let's start there. How about everyone's favorite one? Mine is a Japanese rhinoceros beetle. It's the one that the Pokemon, oh god, I can't remember the name.
I know who you're talking, which Pokemon you're talking about.
It's the one Heracross. It's the one Heracross is based off of. The more Americanized version of Heracross is its mega form, which is actually more closely to the American versions of rhinoceros beetles. So the Japanese rhinoceros beetle has that little Y shape on the end of its horn. That one's my favorite. Why? I don't know. I just like it.
I get it.
Also, the sound they make is cool.
Yeah, I
Y'all
feel
have
like
a favorite?
no. I feel like it's a really niche, and I'm not gonna say weird, but nerdy, definitely nerdy thing to have
Definitely
a favorite
nerdy.
insect.
I go to environmental college.
I don't have any really specific favorite insects, but I do like ants because of this one YouTuber,
Ants.
Ants Canada.
There's actually.
I don't know if you heard of him.
Sorry, repeat that.
Ants Canada. That's the name of the YouTube channel.
Ants.
Anyway.
Oh, actually, I think I've heard about them, and I think I've heard bad things about them.
Bad things about him.
I do not.
If
think
it's who
I've
I'm
heard
thinking
of them.
about, there's some ant channel that's like really shitty, and like, sure, if you're just watching it for cool stuff, that's fine. But if it's either, I think it might be a different one. I need to check because
Yeah.
they put like ants versus blank and that stuff, and that person.
Yeah. It's not really that, unless it's like a chicken leg. The ants are just eating a chicken leg.
Oh. Oh, wait. Yeah, no, actually, it's a 50-50. I do not know. My friend I have a friend, and I also know the entomology club president who is at my club. He loves ants and absolutely hates this one channel. I don't think it's Ants Canada, but there's a chance. But there's some guy who puts his ants and purposely causes stuff to happen to them.
Yeah. I don't think it's
good.
them.
But also, surprisingly, ants are more specific than you think because we had to learn down families for my class. Ants are one family. Sure, they might have like a million species, but they're one family.
No, yeah, it's fascinating because generally when you think of ants, you think like very basic. Like that's like, if you think about it, that's like the most basic insect, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, it's pretty basic.
But there are so many different types of ants. Like, like you get all these different species of ants, and they all live in like the same places, or some of them like live in more foreign places. Like I'm thinking like bullet ants, or like those things are wild.
There's ants that can like tie leaves together and make that their nest.
Yeah, it's really cool. So ants, they're a family Formicidae, which is a part of the order Hemiptera, which contains wasps, all kinds, including parasitoids and bees. But termites are not in that order at all. They're in order Blauteria, which is termites and roaches. Roaches and termites used to be separate, but then they were put together a while back. It's
That's actually
confusing. I know
really interesting.
entomologists hate it, but it happens. Yeah, termites are not ants at all. They're not related at all, which is crazy.
I'm actually
No
not that
matter how much
surprised by that. Um,
they,
because
they look decently similar in shape, but they're
Okay.
not close enough. They're a different order entirely. It's crazy.
I've always thought of termites as something different. Like, I guess
Yeah,
not
they're
always, but like ever
different.
since like I've
Mhm.
been like, I don't know,
There's
like I
ants
guess
and there's termites. There's
yeah.
separate
Well, I
things.
guess like a little kid could get them confused, especially like carpenter ants.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
most
Mhm.
ants are, I
The amount
think
of
of
people
as
that
being
get
very
termites
different
and
from
carpet ants.
termites.
Yeah, they're very different. And another thing, there is a type of wasp called a velvet ant. Those are not ants, those are wasps mimicking ants.
Nice.
Cool.
There are a lot of
They look
insects that
ant.
mimic that look like ants. Like they just mimic
There's a lot
ants and just
of insects
pretend to
that-
be ants. Like especially
There's a lot of
spiders.
there's a lot of insects that look like bees too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, these velvet ants, if it weren't for the fuzz, they'd be a perfect ant minute. The color and the fuzz, though, very throw it off.
Yeah.
Like, it's remarkable. And viewers, I recommend you look up a picture of them. They're pretty cool. But I will show you guys a photo so you can see what I'm talking about. But yeah, I'm in currently entomology. I have a final coming up this Monday, which by the time you guys hear this, it will be passed, so wish me luck. But yeah, I have been studying a ton of insects this semester, which is why we're doing this topic. And also I noticed ever since I entered
Bless you.
entomology, I've noticed all the little spots where they are. I've noticed them everywhere, but I've also noticed in shows and games and stories the little things that are just closely similar to insects, even if they're not meant to be based off of them or arachnids.
I have a linear
And it's
algebra
just
exam.
fascinating.
We're talking about
One of
insects right
them,
now, Cosmo,
Ah.
not linear algebra.
But
I will
insects
throw.
have 6 legs, which is a number, which is like in math.
Oh my gosh, it's
That's stretching it.
call back to Cornelius trying to refer everything back to the topic. He's a great guy, but literally just said whatever he wanted to say and then was like, but it does relate to this because of this. And it was like somewhat decent reasoning half of the time. I thought it was entertaining at least.
It was pretty funny.
He was a good guest though. We'll probably have him back on at some
Mm-hmm.
point in the future.
Oh, definitely. I will say though, so back slightly on topic, I was mentioning How to Train Your Dragon as a source of things based on insects. 2 of them are explicitly stated to be based on certain insects. The Rumblehorn, which is based on things like the rhinoceros beetles, the Hercules beetles, stuff like that. And the Triple Strike, which is based loosely on scorpions. But there's another that they didn't mean to base it on insects. It's actually based on something completely different. But it's fascinatingly still so insect-like. It's the Death Gripper. Because they said it's a bit based on a spider, but instead it has a stinger like a scorpion would, and the forearms that are raptorial, like many insects. Raptorial means predatory, meaning things like mantises.
Mantis
You know
style.
mantis arms?
Yeah.
Mantis,
That's the first thing I
giant
thought of
spiders.
too.
They have front legs, raptorial front legs, quite similar to those. And then their armor plating is so much like the chitin of a certain bugs that have like spikes to protect themselves or hard armor to protect themselves. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
And they didn't even mean to base them off of an insect. If I look carefully, God, there's a lot of scrolling. But
Yeah.
if I remember correctly, it was scorpion and like not scorpion, sorry, spider and something else, like a dog, I think, which makes sense because they acted older. But still, it's fascinating to see in media insects getting represented. Heck, so the viewers don't get angry, Pokemon has a whole type related to them.
I was just
And
gonna
if
say
you
that.
diss
Same
subtypes,
same
my
brain
subtype training
cell.
self will murder you.
Same brain
He has another
cell.
bug type trainer. You all
Um,
can go look at.
I was just gonna say that, like, if we're talking about insects in media or like insect, like not honoring insects, but like you know, like insect,
Yeah.
what's the word?
Inclusion.
Not necessarily inclusion, but like, I'm not gonna be able to think of the word. I'll just move past that. Uh, it's late. It's not that
Fair,
late, but
fair,
I'm
fair.
tired. Anyway, I I think of Pokemon, and
Mhm,
there's like a lot of like really insect like creatures in there, and I mean, as you said, there's an entire bug type. Um,
mhm.
but like,
Yeah, some aren't bug type, even though they look like little bugs.
yeah, but there's some Pokemon that are literally just bugs. Like, there's no getting around it. Like as you said, Heracross, literally just a bug.
Yeah, like many of them are literally just a bug, but sometimes a bit like anthropomorphized.
Like
Like things like no, okay, what?
Durant, that's literally just an ant with steel
It's
plating.
actually based on a mythical legend, I think, of the Myrmex, which are giant acid-spitting metal-plated ants from India and Greece.
Interesting.
Don't ask why I know about so much about them. I actually do really like those. And if you read some of the side stories of Percy Jackson's series, or Percy Jackson series at all, you'd know about the Myrmex.
Hmm.
Imagine a human-sized, or like not human-sized, maybe like Saint Bernard-sized
Yeah, like a
ant
large dog.
with with metal chitin so thick, it's like uh several hands width maybe thick,
There's no
and
way
they
to
spit
hands width thick.
dissolving
A hand's
acid.
breadth thick is a hand's width. Wait, a hand's breadth or a hand's like thickness?
Width, not not breadth. That'd be ridiculous. It's like half a hand's width, maybe. Then I'm trying to
Okay,
remember.
I was gonna say a hand's breadth thickness. That like, there's no way that's true.
You wouldn't be able to move.
No, you would be completely locked
But
down.
God, insects are amazing. So one of my final projects was pinning and labeling a bunch of insects. Did math on it because it's hard. I couldn't find everything, even with 3 months of searching. It really should tell you the moment you sign up for this class that you need to start hunting immediately. And I even did, but since I didn't know what I needed to get, I couldn't properly get everything during summer.
Yeah. I remember there have been
But
episodes or like recordings that we've done where, either before or after, even during, you've mentioned like, oh yeah, I've got a mini fridge next to me full of insects, and we're all like, brother,
it's
what?
still full of insects. I've only it's half full, sorry. But still, I haven't been able to pin everything. Like I had to get my project done, and even that was a rough time.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's crazy how hard it is to find something. Like I had to find a fungus inhabitant. Do you know how hard it is to find a fungus gnat when it's
Uh,
cold out?
no, but I would assume it's difficult since you're complaining about it.
Near impossible. One of my friend's friend had some on flypaper, but they didn't grab any because they're fragile and would break. I was just thinking, can you just cut them out? Just snip, snip, give me the fucking thing so I could pass. Still pass. It's still, I didn't fail.
Yeah.
God. And one annoying thing about roaches, their juvenile state looks exactly like their adult state.
Oh,
The problem with
yeah.
that is we had
That's
to have
gotta.
adults only.
Yeah.
And if you didn't have an adult, it, so my three things, the niche, the family, and the order I had for that guy were deemed invalid because it was a fucking juvenile. And I couldn't tell because it's so hard to tell for things like that. Sure, if you were an expert on roaches, you'd be like, wing pads or something. I'm not. I don't like roaches. Also, that thing smelled like death itself.
I'd
Seriously.
imagine.
Never freeze and unfreeze roaches. It will get their stink going again, and oh my god, I nearly threw up from the smell. That's if
Yeah.
you're lucky. If you're unlucky, that is. I was just very unlucky. 'Cause one of my friends did the same thing and nothing happened to them, and I'm forever pissed about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's crazy stuff. And the other day, the problem is
I
things are so fragile too. You gotta be careful,
I'm gonna
especially
stay.
butterfly.
I'm gonna stay over here in computer science.
Yeah.
But
You and your bugs.
but
Yeah. Exactly.
uh, I
oh my
love
god.
my job. Puns.
I'll deal with these bugs. You'll deal with those bugs.
Yeah, I'll deal with the bugs that a lot of people dislike. You deal with the
But
bugs that people also dislike, but digitally. Although some people like
I wonder. I mean, why do they call them bug?
because people bugs infiltrate homes and stuff. People see them
Uh,
as pests and annoyances, even though they're
yeah, but
not.
like bugs are like usually a separate entity. That seems more like I don't know.
They see bugs as something annoying, or
Yeah,
both.
that's
If
why
it
that's
That's
what I would
literally why.
assume.
When I think of a bug, like if the program was a house and the bug wouldn't be a bug in the house, it would be like, oh, there's a missing support structure here.
Yeah, there's
Yeah, but somehow people will
I
find
think
a way to blame the bug for the issue.
I
I
If wood's
don't
guess.
rotting, it must be this fly's fault. But they always fly around with rot.
I don't know much about
Must be.
architecture, but
Okay.
I would imagine if there's a missing support structure that entire house is going to the ground. Which honestly is probably true for programming as well. The second you try
Yeah.
running something
There's
that's
one
missing
bug
something
in it.
important enough to be comparable to a support structure, I would imagine
Yeah.
the entire thing would come crashing to the ground very quickly.
I
But
mean,
I'm
bugs have done that. Especially termites. And
but
I
I'm
think the main reason I'm fascinated with insects, not only because I like them, but because I've always loved bats, and the majority of them are insectivores. The main two I like are some of the most badass bats ever. The pallid bat, which eats every venomous spider, centipede, scorpion you could think of.
nice.
And the other is the false vampire bat. All of them. There's like three of them, I think. And they eat things like small vertebrates, other bats, birds,
Oh yeah, of
frogs,
course.
Imagine your
large
Rocks?
hyper
insect arachnids.
Rocks?
imagine your hyper focus being insects. Could never be me.
Damn, I really got called out like that.
Yeah, you did get called out like that.
Fucking you, I guess.
Me when I go outside with a magnifying glass and burn the ants.
I hope you bite the dirt and the ant bites your tongue.
Valid.
No, actually, I hope the bullet ant bites your uvula.
Oh,
Damn.
what a threat that was.
Also, speaking of issues with insects, when I was younger, actually, we had a giant wasp hornet nest near our old house. It was not the house I'm in currently.
I
This
hate
was
wasps.
near country. This was countryside
I do not like
house, and
wasps.
I hate wasps so much.
my dad went out in like super ultra many layers, super thick clothing, mask, like full heavy duty, and sprayed down the hornet nest while they were sleeping to kill them all. And then they
Yeah.
got some help to get rid of it. A few days later, something landed on my head. I slapped it off. Saw it was a queen wasp, and then stomped it.
Oh,
So
damn.
I'm guessing before my dad gassed the whole thing, there must have been a new queen that was sent out.
Wait, when was it? Recently or a while ago?
No, this
No,
was
this
back
is
when I was a
when
little kid. I
I
said
say
this
when
was
he
my
was little.
Oh, okay.
countryside
Yeah.
house. I'm not in a countryside house anymore. I'm in the suburbs. But yeah, no, I slapped off a queen who must have been looking for a new place to live.
Unless it was
Yeah,
like a
that was.
different queen, but yeah, it was probably that one.
I'm saying like so when hives there's one new queen spawns, they either kill the old queen or the old queen migrates.
Yeah.
Spawns like
If
in
there's multiple queens,
Minecraft.
What?
Sorry.
guys, I'm going to just take your
I used to be
spleen.
terrified of ants, but they're like really cute. So no, not anymore.
I actually The main reason I have a fear of venomous creatures is because of fire ants. For
Ugh.
some reason, normally it was either fire ant or something similar, because normally they're not in New York. But at my country house, let's just say little me smacked a nest or two, and my hand would turn into a baseball size
Oh
12.
god.
Yeah,
Personally,
not fun.
I still hate centipedes. I just don't like them.
Centipedes are just generally creepy.
Yeah,
I
maybe it's
wouldn't touch one. They're interesting. I find them fascinating how they look, but I personally wouldn't touch them.
No.
What I
Plus,
hate is what I fondly called as a kid spider pedes, also known as house centipedes.
oh god, I hate
They
those
look like
things.
no,
they
yeah,
look like a cross between a
I've had
spider
too
and a
many
centipede.
encounters with those. When I was a kid, I was
yeah,
fucking terrified of those things.
yeah. Those
Well,
things are
I used to go to
fucking.
karate, and
Those are
things
what
would be on the mats.
those are
I
what
was
I
I.
would step on them by accident.
6 in the morning getting ready for school. I like go up to fill my water in the sink, and there's this fucking house centipede in it. I was like, I don't
Yeah,
like
when I
that.
think centipedes, I think house centipedes, and it's like they're super creepy. They're
But also, they're so useful.
they are really helpful, but they're super
What?
fucking creepy, and they make the most disgusting crunching sound when you crush them. Like it's just like
I normally can't
I
hear
want to
that 'cause they're
throw
so
up just
enclosed.
thinking about it. Like
Ugh.
it's so bad.
No,
Ah!
don't post that
No,
in the
don't send a
chat.
picture of it.
God,
You
why,
didn't think of the
Cameron?
other
Cameron, you fucking
centipede.
asshole.
I
I'm
more
gonna
think
look at
of
the
the
fuzzy
squarish,
feet
the one
now.
with the square brackets and the bright legs. I think of that one when I think of
S-
centipede, not house centipede. I
Oh
always
yeah,
Yeah,
associate house centipede with spider pede. Also, I'm not gonna delete them.
spiders are chill though. So
spiders are pretty chill. They're like I don't want them.
Besides, all they don't get up in my business. I love
Yeah,
jumping spiders.
I don't
yeah,
want
I'm
them
on.
I have
on
a
me by
great.
any means, but like for the most part, spiders are just like okay,
If
it's a
I if I
spider.
if I see a spider hanging out, I will like drag my hand over it like to get the web just so I can like put it around a little bit and put it down. It's really funny.
I've actually I've enjoyed I like jumping spiders. Usually, if I see a spider, I'm gonna or insect inside the house, I'm gonna move it out. Once in my dorm, I was lying on my bed, I just see a spider crawl up past me to my water spigot. I just call it a water spigot. Oh my god, I meant the
What?
indoor. Why do I call it fucking
It's a
water
bloody
spigot?
water
Eh?
spigot.
The bloody water spigot.
Fucking Canadian,
Bloody water
British
spigot.
part of me coming out, eh? Anyways, I had to carefully get it so I wouldn't set off the fire sprinkler,
Oh
and
my
I moved
god.
it out into the hallway and just encouraged it to run to someone else's dorm.
Have somebody else kill it. That's probably what ended
Well,
up happening.
I think a lot of people do like what are they called? What are they called? Jumping spiders. Those things are adorable.
No, yeah, jumping spiders
Yeah.
are fucking adorable.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a really cute picture of one. My phone has so many
Well, I would
insect
look at
and
it, but I
bracket
can't look
photos
at the
now.
chat right now, so
I'll remove that. The listeners, I traumatized them with a photo of a house centipede compared to a normal centipede.
No, yeah, normal centipedes are cool, but house centipedes are like they don't need to
I
look
call
like
them
that.
spider
I
bees
I
for a
still do
reason.
not like normal centipedes. Maybe it's because I play rare mode. I don't know.
Oh.
Hmm. One of my favorite aquatic insects, and I don't normally like aquatic things, is the giant water bug, also known as the toe biter.
Yeah, I know about the toe biter.
Toe biter?
Yeah.
It's definitely my favorite insect in my collection, which
And
I need to switch
why?
out the stuff soon because I have them currently in isopropanol. Well, I need to put them in ethanol.
And why
Hope
is
it
it
don't
called the toe biter?
because they might accidentally bite your toe if you go in barefoot.
Great.
It'll
Yeah,
sting like a bitch.
because they
But
yeah,
that's because they
does what
mistake
it
you for
says on the
fish.
tin.
The tin?
The tin does what it says on the
Yeah,
tin.
they might mistake you
It's a
for
British
fish,
saying.
but
Why is everyone British
British.
today?
I don't know.
That's
Fuck you.
insane.
Does what
I have
it
a
says
really
on the
bad
tin.
British accent.
I don't know.
I guess
My British
I'm gonna
accent is a
I'm
little
gonna do my bad British accent now.
Hey,
awful
meanwhile, I'm
British
just doing
accent.
I know
Awful.
British Hand.
So-
Really?
Insects, am I right?
Insects. Am I right?
Insects, am I right?
You're all
Isn't
a bunch
it?
of wonks.
Insects, isn't it?
Another favorite of mine that you cannot touch because it will burn like a motherfucker is the blister beetle.
Oh yes.
They produce
That's
carcinogen, which hurts like hell. You gotta be really careful.
Carcinogens? I don't think that's what that is.
Carcinogen, yeah.
A
Is it a
carcinogen?
Am I pronouncing it wrong?
A carcinogen
Carcinogens cause cancer.
is a cancer-causing molecule or
Does it
element.
cause cancer?
Wait, I'm looking at how to pronounce.
Yeah, because a carcinogen is definitely just a molecule or element. that
Cantharidin,
causes-
sorry, that's my bad. Cantharidin.
There you go. Yeah, that sounds more correct. I was like, carcinogen? There's no way that's correct.
This
They've
beetle gives you cancer.
This beetle just flat out gives you cancer. It secretes a gas, or it secretes a grease that just you touch it and it just gives you cancer. You just like grow a tumor where you touched it. So it's just like you touch it with like your pointer finger and a giant like bulbous like
The wild,
growth.
the wild cigar beetle.
A giant bulbous growth just instantly grows from the end of your finger, and it's like, oh brother, what?
Brother.
Brother, what? Brother, the oats.
Brother, what?
It also
Like-
sucks though when you have to like some insects you can't put back because unfortunately they are very invasive and you have to murder them on the spot. But what I just sent was so one of my insects I realized a while later when I looked at it carefully under a microscope that it had a bunch of little mites hitching on a piggyback ride on it.
Interesting.
That's a white spotted pine star beetle with mites on it. Which is really fascinating to find those guys piggybacking on it. I also sent a picture of a giant water bug that I have, and the little jumping spider I found the other day. Jumping spiders are so adorable. God. People also keep them as pets, which is fascinating.
How do you
I think you need.
expect
Don't take my word for it. I think you need a license for this, but I really want to keep a Japanese rhinoceros beetle. But I think you need a license or some shit because they're technically
You have a
invasive
license
and
for
you can't
that?
release.
You got a license for that? You got a license for that? You probably need a license for that.
You probably need a license for that.
Oh yeah, no. So to keep, they're legal to import or keep without permits from Ep28. So basically, if your hobby is keeping insects as pets, Japanese rhinoceros beetle is very unrealistic. It's like a research grade. Oh my god, it's the Animal Health Inspection Service.
Oh,
Dear
good luck
God,
with that.
yeah, no, you need like
Weird.
you need a research containment facility for it.
SCP!
Which isn't
SCP, this
real,
one.
or a non-residential containment facility built to specs that aren't realistically available as an average individual, unless you're wealthy, of course. Fuck the wealthy, eat them.
SCP-1502.
Although a lot of
The
people still legally
Japanese
do it. Yeah.
beetle article.
Japanese rhinoceros
Yeah, no, apparently
beetle.
you can't have them without like a whole research grade facility. That's bonkers.
Then research them.
Yeah, just choose that specific thing to do research on. Yeah.
Definitely not
I actually-
researching on how good pets they are.
They used to only be considering bats, boars, and wolves for research things I want to do when I'm out of college. But insects have, especially beetles, because beetles are my favorite, have wormed their way into that.
Yeah.
Another fascinating thing is variants. For instance, in my collection, I have a variant of the rosy maple moth, the Ontario variant, only in Ontario. I found it at Cranberry Lake. The thing flew into me. I was like, "You're mine."
Yoink.
So the difference is instead of having
Same brain
yellow,
cell.
yellow wings with a large pink stripe, or pink wings with a large tail stripe, whichever it is, I can't remember. The Ontario variant has almost completely yellow wings with a very thin, very tiny, almost hard to, impossible to see pink stripe. Really cool.
Mysterious.
Mysterious. Very mysterious.
Mysterious.
Mr. Eus. Who is Eus, and why is he a mister?
Mr. Sister.
Mister, my
Like-
sister's mister? My sister's a mister?
Like you could see the difference in the
Oh my
photos.
god, it's so cute.
It's adorable. I love it.
Yeah.
It's so fluffy.
My favorite moth actually is the agreeable tiger moth.
Agreeable?
Oh my gosh, you sent
Mhm.
pictures of it
Agreeable
before.
tiger moth.
It's the little white one, right?
Yeah. I regret never getting him for my collection, but also I don't regret it because he's too adorable. He was so sleepy too.
He's very agreeable.
You're
Oh my
so
god.
adorable. So sleepy.
Fluffy.
I just want to pet
Yeah.
it.
But also a pain in the ass to pin all these fluffy moths. Fuck.
Yeah, I think moths are really cool. If I had to pick a favorite insect,
Well, that was the starting question.
that was the starting question. I know. It's like we're
Let
going
me
in a
just do
circle.
Favorite type. Because you guys are not very well versed. Favorite type of insect. Or arachnid or whatever.
Probably moths, or if you can count an inchworm. I love inchworms. They're so goofy.
That's fair.
Inchworms are a larvae of.
I was gonna say they're a moth larva, right?
They're a moth larvae. Geomoth. Oh, I have a geomonitor moth in my collection. Several actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's also a cool predatory version where they disguise themselves as a twig and then swing and capture flies and stuff.
Hmm.
There's videos on it. It's fascinating.
Precision kill.
Mine are beetles all the way. I love beetles. Although I'm tempted to say Hemiptera because of assassin bugs and the giant water bugs, I still love beetles more.
Yeah.
Hemiptera is true bugs. So like stink bugs to assassin bugs to all kinds of things.
Oh my god, I fucking hate stink bugs. We used to call them, what did we used to call them? We used to call them triangle beetles because we didn't like
They're actually
they didn't make a stink when you crushed them.
Yeah.
so
But they would just fucking invade our house. And it was like, "Excuse me, sir, you need to
Yeah.
leave."
Get out.
you have the wrong shape for their name actually. The scientific name is actually based on a shape though. It's the family is Pentanomidae. Penta as in 5 points.
Yeah, well, my little sister named them when she was young, so started calling them
Yeah.
that when she was young because they would
Yeah,
always
I've
invade
never-
her, specifically her
two-
room.
I've never had a stink bug actually be stinky.
No, I have not
I've had-
either.
G.
You
I
probably have a
worked
lot.
with them all.
I was gonna say you've
So-
probably had a lot more interactions with stink
Especially
bugs than
when
we have,
pinning,
though.
dear God, the dead ones smell. But there's two main ones you find in the US, I believe. It's the green one, which is native, and then the one you always see around is a brown marmorated stink bug.
Mhm.
That one's very invasive. Which is
They're
the one you
annoying
see
as
the most
fuck
often in
too.
house.
They're annoying as fuck too, because you'll be
Yeah.
sitting on the toilet in the bathroom, and all of a sudden you'll see one climb up the wall, and then
always
it'll
put them in the
open
wings.
it'll open its like wing casings, and it'll just take off, and it makes the loudest buzzing sound as it flies around the room, and you like duck out of the way as it tries to hit
You
you in the
think
face.
that's
It's fucking,
loud?
it's fucking,
They can
You
fly.
haven't heard of May beetle.
yeah, they can fly.
I didn't know stink bugs could fly. I've never seen it.
They can. They don't do it often, in my experience.
They're annoying as fuck.
So one from the family of Scarpidae, if I remember correctly, is the May beetle. That one's much louder because it crashes into shit and it's so noisy.
No, the stink bugs crash
Like,
into shit too.
happen.
I've seen it happen.
Yes, but they don't sound like a chopper.
Yeah, that's fair.
Arnold
So the May-
Schwarzenegger.
Get
the
to the
May
chopper.
beetle- Okay, this one
Get
has
to the
some
beetle.
funny names. So May beetles are also known as common cockchoppers, spang beetles, or billy witches.
Hold on. Common cockchoppers. Is that the thing that
Yeah.
you said?
Yes.
Why
Chafer-
are they
That doesn't make it better.
cockchafers?
Cockchafers is a type of, it's like the June and May beetles, which they are so noisy they hit everything. They're part of the scarab family, though.
Not the fucking cockchopper.
God damn it, man.
We're not gonna stop laughing at that.
No,
The moment
that's
you said
fucking
that,
beautiful.
our
Okay,
entire concentration was
Cameron,
lost.
if you ever get to name a beetle, please name it the cockchopper. That's fucking beautiful. I'm picturing
I
like
actually do
a
have
little
May
beetle.
in-
I'm picturing like a
So,
little
it's
beetle
like-
with massive fucking pincer things
So-
that are like literally just like steak knives, and it just like it walks up to you and just cocks your chop off.
Crazy.
Me when I cock my chop off. All right, Cameron. Sorry. Continue.
The dolphins and flies actually do have the giant dolphins and stag beetles often have the giant pincers you were mentioning.
No,
instead of
yeah,
tail biter.
I'm aware.
But dolphins and flies are actually really cool. But some other loud ones are like any rhinoceros Hercules beetles when they fly because they're so big and their wings hit against their leathery hard elytras so hard that people put them comparative to helicopter.
Elytra
From
From Minecraft. I know, that's what I was thinking. No, that's what the wing shell or whatever it is called.
Leathery hard elytra, common trait in most beetles. Plus, there are things like a blister beetle, which don't normally have them because they're soft-bodied, or rove beetles because they flip themselves. Yeah.
You know what? You know what beetle is really cool, and I've always thought was
What?
really cool? A bombardier beetle. They're like, you know about them.
Ah,
Fucking
basic
cannon,
bit.
fucking cannon ass motherfucker. He's just got a
the
cannon
one
strapped
that
to his ass.
explosively shoots explosive acid that's superheated. Yes,
Yeah.
that bit.
I guess it's closer to a
Whoa.
flamethrower than a cannon.
Is that the creeper from Minecraft?
It's more similar to a napalm than a.
Napalm.
Not the napalm beetle.
I mean, basically,
Damn.
it has the same thing as. Wait. 1 second, I'm double checking.
That's the same effect. I don't know if is it
It
flammable?
doesn't have the same chemical as blister ones, but God, is it? Yeah, when it shoots it out so hard that it literally makes steam because it's so superheated.
Yeah,
But also,
it's
it's
flammable.
and it's explosive.
I don't think it's flammable.
It's
But
hydrogen peroxide and hydro's queen. It literally explodes.
Like an acid.
Yeah.
It's an explosive, superheated acid.
It's not flammable though.
And what the fuck do you think an explosion is?
I think he's talking more like
Also, I never
actually
said
on fire.
I said explosive.
Yeah.
I always said explosive, never flammable.
No, you did not say the words flammable, but
It's
he was asking
boiling.
specifically if it was flammable.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not only can they shoot it almost any direction, it's boiling. And an acid, an explosive.
Boom.
And very toxic. And it can cause cancer or genetic damage.
Can it? It's a carcinogen!
Cancer beetle!
No, it's not a carcinogen. That's hydroquine. Hydroquine. I cannot pronounce this. I'm bad with Latin names, but it's that.
Hydroquinone.
That one.
Hydroquinone!
And genetic damage to humans.
It causes cancer.
smells really bad. That's
It's a carcinogen.
And what's fascinating about them is they evolved somehow to have it in two separate stacks, the two chemicals, so they don't explode internally.
Yeah.
We don't know how they evolved because that we don't know how they adapted this way to to a point where they have two separate stacks to
Damn.
control and produce a chemical. They're basically scientists, Beals.
That was my next burning question.
Was what? How
But
did
I'm
how
gonna
did it
stick
evolve?
one in your throat.
No, I'm joking.
Give you the worst sore
No,
throat
you
of
should
your
have committed to the bit. Commit to the bit. Commit to the bit.
Commit on GitHub?
Come and get the bit from the commit
Getting
place.
Cosmo and Liam from the call.
Who?
But yeah, no, insects are absolutely fascinating.
He missed
I
it
think
again.
I've been on call with y'all before while I'm out in the woods hunting down insects.
No, yeah, you definitely have.
Probably.
Over the
That
summer,
sounds
I
about
was
right.
setting up track plates and I called you guys.
Yeah.
That was for small mammals, but I was also on the eye for insects, which I actually caught a few during that. The good times. I think I'm still probably gonna be like occasionally grabbing insects and just freezing and pinning them. Like I have enough to pin for quite a while. Unfortunately, you can't keep them frozen too long. You got if they're too hard when you take them out, then you gotta rehydrate them so you can pin them properly. It's a whole thing. I won't be doing like official labeling stuff because that's a pain in the. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, is it fucked up that some of the insects in my pinned collection, the one I turned in, some of them are named?
Oh.
Yeah, it's bad.
Especially the carpenter beetle, who flew away 4 times and came back 5 times. And me and my friend were joking, Ricky, when I get you, Ricky, when I get you, Ricky. So he ended up being named Ricky. He deserved it. His dumbass kept coming back after we accidentally missed him and let him go a few times.
He came back for more.
And carpenter beetles are big. You think bumblebees are big? That's mostly fuzz. Now, carpenter beetles are bigger and without the fuzz. They're thick boys. I had him in
thick.
old.
So wait,
I had
so
him in a small old camera film roll, and I could feel him angrily buzzing inside. That's the whole thing with
so
hybrid.
so do bugs like survive the process of being frozen and pinned?
No.
The funny thing
I'm
is, not
confused because
normally, but some bugs do survive the initial freezing, which is why you gotta take them out and refreeze them. I had one stubborn bastard who actually
it
survived,
sounded
and I
it
noticed
sounded
before I pinned them.
because you made it sound like this carpenter beetle was one of the ones you were trying to pin.
Oh no! I had just caught him. I didn't even freeze him yet. I had to freeze him.
Yeah, this is before it
But
was frozen.
All right.
He had
No, he
been
kept flying.
out
He
too far
kept flying away with one of the pins sticking out of his abdomen. He was like buzzing around angrily.
Yeah.
Not torture at all.
I mean, some of my fellow classmates accidentally had some insects come to life as they were pinning them.
It's
Especially this one,
alive.
because
alive.
so people always say freezing is inhumane. That's actually more humane than killjoys that slowly gas them. Yes, we basically gas chamber insects.
Damn.
Freezing's much more humane.
I almost made a
And
joke I should
actually
not have, and I
effectively
will
kills
not. I will
them.
not repeat what I was thinking.
Yeah,
I
no.
know. I was making a joke too, and I'm not gonna repeat it. I think we both were about to make the same joke, Ren.
Yeah.
Probably. But let's not, just
You
for the
know,
sake of
little,
monetization. Not that we're monetized
Yeah.
anyway, but we should probably be careful. I don't want YouTube on my
someday in the
ass.
future. Yeah. But the gassing, the kill jars are actually not as effective. They don't fully kill them always, especially if they're bigger. So my friend's mantis, after being put in the kill jar that was recharged several times with isopropyl alcohol and stuff like that, Yeah, that mantis kept coming back to life. And one time when they thought it was finally dead, they started pinning. Mid pinning, it came back to life, so they shoved it in their freezer. And lo and behold, that finally killed it. So freezer's the way to go, folks. Trust me on this. The only problem is people might object to you using your freezer to hold a shit ton of insects.
No, I think it's fun. It's a little snack for later.
Funnily enough, some of these actually, if they weren't so fucked up or like that, I found some of them in indescribable places. They actually could be in some of them if prepared properly. Entomological Club teamed up with another club. It was something
You
Southern
better not say
Solstice,
cooking club.
and they actually did do some cooking. They did cricket
Interesting.
flour. Cricket flour is
Interesting.
actually apparently
Entomology Club
I,
teamed up with Cooking Club. Brother, what?
it was like culture around the world or something. I don't know, but they were cooking actually.
Yeah.
Was
Cricket
it good?
flour.
Did you try it?
I didn't get to go because I was busy with other events
Cricket
and
flour is
making sure
supposed to
stuff
be
happened.
really good for you, though. Like,
I've heard it's good
'cause-
for you and it tastes decent actually.
yeah.
So if they ever do an event like that again, I will gladly try it.
I've had, I don't remember if it was crickets or ants, but it they were not very good, but I think I just got bad crickets or bad ants and was not very open to the
Yeah.
idea.
Have you always ever seen those like cheese covered or chocolate covered insects and stuff?
Yeah.
Like on Amazon, you can order just straight up like baking insects like beetles, scorpions, spiders.
No, no, no.
No, no, no.
I'm kind of tempted as like a joke when I come back to college to bring with me like either like ant popsicles or scorpion popsicles because those have actual insects in them. People don't realize it, but those are full on insects and arachnids.
Yep.
But it was crazy to see what everyone brought in. One of my friends, I'm so jealous of him for this. At home in his personal collection, which he was already collecting insects before this apparently, he had a Eastern Hercules beetle, which was from like Virginia where he's been. They're lower East Coast usually. There's some in Southern New York, but unfortunately, I never have an excuse to go to Southeast New York.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm like miles away. It's not fun. I don't feel like driving down there just to hunt for a bug, probably not find anything, and then come back. It's not like they're massive, but they're big.
Yeah.
Think of those pink erasers we have in school. I have one near my computer actually right now.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
yeah. I
The
know
pink
exactly what you're talking
eraser.
about.
It's
Yeah.
about that size,
Hmm.
which is
Remember
good
those-
size. but
Remember those oversized pink
some of them
erasers
crazy.
that were like had like words on them, but they were like
Oh god,
you
for
had like
big mistake.
you had the oversized ones and then you had the crazily oversized one
I had
Like,
a, I had a big, I had
that
a
was
big eraser
like-
that said for big mistakes or something.
I literally just made that joke.
Yeah. No, but like the like 8-inch long eraser, like those ones, like they look like a normal pink eraser, but they're fucking massive. Yeah, I just got a flashback to
You're so off topic.
those. Let's get back on topic. Hollow Knight. It's full of
Hollow Knight.
insects.
Hollow Knight's a lot of insects and that's fascinating. I was actually about to mention D&D, my favorite monster being the hook horror, which is based
In
on
insects?
it actually is, yes. It's a mix between a bit of a vulture, but the rest of it's like several insects. Like it has the horned elytra of a beetle,
Oh, I
and
see.
the non-functional wings of some beetles, but it has the raptorial front legs that are similar to
Is this the blind one?
mantises and some are raptorial-legged creatures. But it also has like a cool thing where it echolocates, which I find fascinating. It taps against a rock.
It has bad eyesight, right?
Oh, it's pretty much blind, yeah.
I think you're thinking of something that's not the hook horror. I think the hook horror is something different.
No, I'm thinking of the hook horror.
I'm looking at a hook horror, and it looks mostly like a vulture, but it has some insectish hands, I guess.
Oh yeah,
It
no,
seems
never
like a-
mind.
So,
I was
remember
thinking
to look at
I
the
was thinking of something.
5e hook.
Yeah, I was thinking of something different. Never mind.
Also, like, there's a lot of some insect things, like the Umber Hulk is another cool thing, which is based off of probably like some. It reminds me of ant lions or doodly bugs, as some people refer to them. And the ant lion everyone knows and loves is actually just a baby.
Hmm.
They're not adults. The ant lion is actually looks like a dragonfly. What most people think of is their larvae, also known as a doodle bug.
Doodlebug.
Yep.
Amazing.
Yeah, they're actually kind of fascinating. They're somewhat closely related to dragonflies, but they're not within the same family or order, for that matter. Yeah, like the little guy is the doodle bug. The dragonfly-looking one is the ant/owlfly. Lion/owlfly. They're very similar species.
Oh my god, it reminds me of those in Dune. Have you guys watched the Dune, like those dragonfly
Oh, I
looking?
haven't watched
Oh, the
it.
ornithocopters.
Yeah, those are cool. Probably really impractical,
Ornithur-
but
It's I think that's how you pronounce it. Um,
yeah.
That. Oh, those. Yeah, they're based on dragonflies.
yeah.
I wonder if
Um,
that would be like a practical thing you could actually do, or if that's just like stays in science fiction, never to leave.
so something people might not expect me to bring up. I'm gonna bring up Avatar, and I'm not talking about bending the elements. I'm talking about the blue people.
The
Blue
blue
people.
people. Same brain
Because
cell.
the Banshee has some remarkably insect-like features, especially the wings. The wings are fascinatingly insectoid, but they have multiple layers of it, so you don't notice it.
Hmm.
Okay.
Pandora is just basically like a planet of insects. I just love it. Insects mixed with other creatures, mixed with alien things.
So what were you saying, Liam? I mean, Ren. Sorry.
Good. The silence did work.
Bro messed up on that red.
Ah, God.
I don't think I was saying anything.
You
I
weren't
think you're.
saying anything.
I think you're hallucinating. I
I was like, wait a minute.
think you're hallucinating, Robert.
Okay, Ren. That's fair.
They even have a giant. So they have something called an Atlas beetle in that, which is just a giant beetle that they use for armor, which is fascinating. It's actually
Harry,
based off of a
God,
real
imagine,
insect,
imagine
which is
like
the
the,
actual thing.
imagine the D&D item. Like it's a beetle, but you can use it as a shield.
That would be
I
so
mean,
cool.
there isn't a beetle big enough for that, but there is a beetle in real life that you could basically use as like a very heavy baseball. It is
What?
chunky. Don't actually
Oh
use
God!
it,
I just thought of like,
but it's heavy. It
you
is
know that
heavy.
you know the African Goliath frog or whatever it is. I just thought of throwing one of those. I was like, a heavy baseball? Yeah, a
So
frog.
the Goliath, that's what I'm kind of talking about, actually. The Goliath beetle is one of the heavier ones.
Yeah, but I was thinking of a frog,
Very different.
which would probably go
Well,
squoosh if you
they're
threw
big
it.
enough that they're
Not squoosh.
practically
It would go squoosh.
baseball.
Oh.
Like these guys look so cool and they're so big.
Whoa.
That's not very baseball
Jeez.
shaped though.
Yeah, it's not very baseball shit.
That's palm size.
Jesus Christ.
No, yeah, I knew about those. Those things are cool, actually.
They're thick boys.
Looks more dangerous than it probably is.
Oh, it's not dangerous at all. They're
Yeah,
pretty much
yeah,
too
yeah.
hard. Now, Titan beetles, those might be kind of dangerous with their pincers. They have a strong bite, they're technically the largest, I think. Just how long they are, crazy. Yeah. fascinating insect. Like the biggest is that big. That's just like the heaviest insect, I think.
I think it is too. I used to have a book of like insects.
That's the
What's that
heavy.
one? What's
Wait,
that
no,
one?
the giant weta is heavier. Giant weta is heavier.
Interesting. Uh, what was it? There's a kind of like massive snail in like South America or something that just eats the paint off of people's walls.
That that reminds me of my current status. There's a story behind it. Don't worry about it.
No, yeah, your status. I keep reading that. I keep being like, I feel like murdering a snail. I keep thinking of like the immortal snail. Like that's
Oh
where
my
my
God.
mind goes.
The immortal snail.
We ain't talking about the cephalopods or whatever. But the largest insect in the world technically is the largest version of a stick bug because of how long they are. But the heaviest isn't anymore the Goliath beetle technically. It's technically the giant weta, which is a giant grasshopper that's heavily armored.
Hmm.
Also looks horrifying though, that thing. Any insect
Damn.
in large looks horrifying, to be honest.
Yeah, insects shouldn't be that large, I think. Personally, I
But
don't like
that's
it.
because I believe that species has a little bit of gigantism. There's some species, a lot of species of grasshoppers actually, if they're isolated on islands, sometimes they get a case of gigantism where they grow very, very large.
Yeah,
As much as they possibly can.
Yeah.
like dodo birds and whales and capybaras.
It's fascinating. Also, one of the largest insects in history, though, is a giant dragonfly.
You're a giant
The current largest
dragonfly.
dragonfly that we have alive currently is the jumbo dragonfly, which
Jumbo.
are which are quite big. They're about hand size, some of them. But the prehistoric one,
Any prehistoric bug is
that's arm
huge.
sized.
Yeah, any
Any prehistoric bug.
anything is gonna be huge,
Yeah, yeah,
honestly.
that's
But like,
true.
think of that comparison though. The biggest dragonfly, which is only in Japan, I think, today is about hand sized. The biggest dragonfly in history is on an average arm size.
Yeah, it has to do with oxygen in the atmosphere, I'm pretty sure.
That's the theory,
Seriously.
at least.
Yeah, because that's how they breathe. Once they get too big, they can't properly oxygenate themselves because they breathe through, they absorb it. So they don't have an oxygen moving system like we do. So they
No
can't get too big or else they just can't
skill
breathe.
issue.
You're a skill.
Literally.
I don't see you with armor that can't be pierced normally.
Fair enough.
I don't see you with the ability to just suddenly hide as a stick at will. I don't see you
No,
with
Cosmo
choppers that
can
could
do that.
destroy
Cosmo
a
can do that.
hand.
Cosmo's enough of a twig. He can do that.
No.
Yo.
I don't see you with like
No.
that could jump like 10 times your length.
Sorry, Cosmo. I just
attack.
have to
Farthest
speak my truth.
jumping spiders can jump up to over 100 times their body length. Now imagine that for a human. I'm 6'4". Imagine 100 times that. Crazy, right?
My dumbass went, yeah, 640 feet. That's not how that works.
Crazy.
His dumbass goes, you think it's a bird?
633 feet and 4 inches. Technically, it's 633.3 infinity feet, but yeah, no.
Yeah.
I would jump out. That's like a fourth of a mile. But you also gotta consider it would be that'd be its length, its height.
Superman is just Bugman secretly.
He just jumps super far, but you can't tell that he's not actually flying because of the angle of the jump.
He's just jumping midair.
Obviously.
Um,
He has like all the abilities of a
Iguana.
bug. He can jump over high buildings. He can fly. He he can. He has like.
He could
his-
not
shoot
turning into
lasers out of
Bugman.
it. He could shoot
Hey,
lasers out of his
jungle
eyes.
juice.
That's a
His
bug
His
suit
suit is
ability,
is
right?
basically
like
armor from
His
bullets.
name jungle juice.
What about the jungle
Um,
juice?
What?
Jungle Juice is a manhwa I enjoy reading. It's where people get combined with physics. It's really cool, actually. You should read it. It's really fascinating. But this ain't that. But still, it's crazy what the insects can do. Ants can lift crazy amounts. If a human were able to do that, oh,
Yeah.
Bug-
I'm surprised we've managed to drag this
5,000
out for an
times.
hour. I'm surprised we managed to drag this out for an hour. I figured this was going to be a shorter
a
episode
huge-
because I was like, bugs doesn't seem like there's that much we could talk about unless Cameron's just rambling. But I feel like we had decent conversation.
I'm
at
sorry.
least.
Does that bug you?
Yes, it does bug me. No.
It's starting
Right to the
to
Vic.
get
Right to the Vic.
You know what bugs me?
But think about this.
Bugs.
Say like the average person weighs like average male weighs 200. Imagine them being able to lift 5,000 times that. That's 1,000,000 pounds.
It's like when Superman lifted the Book of Infinite Pages.
I'm going to fucking deck you. Also, normally during the podcast, I'm able to walk away and go get water if I need to. Because this is something I'm so invested in, you guys keep conversating with me. I have to stay here.
You're the only one who knows about
Usually I get
bugs.
You're the
water
only
and
one
no
who knows about
notices.
bugs.
I'm gone for,
Well,
like,
it's been over an
no one
hour, so
knows
we
it's
could probably
gone
start
for a
wrapping it up anyway. But that's for
Yeah.
you to
But
decide.
still, this
Wrapping it up like
Well,
a Christmas
in
present
also
because it's near
technically
Christmas.
bugs will
No, I realized.
infuriate every single entomologist. I will say that. So ladybugs are actually referred to ladybird beetles. They even hate the bird part. A ladybird is what it is.
Yeah.
Like, you'd be surprised how furious my professor would get if someone said bug.
Bug.
Ladybug.
Bug. Bug.
You
Bug,
could say
bug,
it.
bug, bug, bug,
You-
bug, bug,
I wonder
bug,
if
bug,
you
bug, bug,
would
bug, bug,
final
bug, bug,
You
bug.
could even say it
bug.
bugs them.
Go.
The single
You know what?
god.
I'm gonna be like a jumping spider out of this conversation and into our outro. How about that?
Yeah.
Yay.
Me and Minamo, I choose you, Cosmo.
Me?
Yes, you
Okay.
nerd. You are
Nerd.
the next host.
Okay. We'll
I
see
will-
about that. No, joke. I will do the outro now in about 3 seconds. Okay, everyone. This is off topic. This podcast where we went off topic and talked about insect. Well, we actually stayed pretty on topic, except for like. Okay, yeah, never mind. Anyway, we'll be back next week probably because it's break. With something I haven't thought of it yet.
I have an idea for
So-
something we could do.
Okay.
I'll talk to you after
well,
we're
then,
done recording.
adios, everyone.
Goodbye.